Hello. I've just been walking through the woods again this morning, and I don't know, I think I may have told some of you, but a very kind person, nobody knows who he is or she is, have been put in little doorways at the base of trees, at the base of tree trunks, and each door has a couple of little brass hinges, little brass hooks that keep it shut. Each door is painted different colours, and some have got little things outside, like a little table with a tiny little bottle and a book on. One's even got a little miniature dustbin outside, a wheelie bin, I should say. But I think that's wonderful. But I believe that God has given us doorways. All of us have got doorways to Him. At this last few weeks, the last couple of weeks at least, I've lost some very dear friends who have passed away from this mortal coil. One of those friends has been suffering for a long time, but she's held on to her faith. She held on to it right to the end because she knew where she was going. And it's not easy when you see people suffering. I've also got one or two friends now who are in that same position now. They don't know the real outcome. Well, they do know the outcome, but they've got real faith and strength. But it can't be easy for them. It can't be easy for anybody. But all I do know is that something that my dear mum asked me to do one day. Again, I think I've told you this before as well, some of you. But a few days before she was to pass away, she was in hospital, and I went to see her, and I said, "Is there anything I can do for you, Mum?" And she said, "Yes, I want you to read for me." So I said, "Well, okay, what do you want me to read?" And she handed me her Bible that was on her pillow. She said, "Read for me John 14. And of course, when I opened it up and started to read, the first words were, "Do not be worried or upset. Believe in me when I tell you that in my Father's house are many rooms, and I'm going to prepare a place for you." Now, I didn't really think much about that too much. I just thought, well, that's a nice reading for Mum. And but in a way, that was Mum's way of preparing me what was to happen a couple of days later, because she passed away 2 days later. And that is something which she held on to. She was telling me that was her faith. She believed the words of Jesus telling her that she had a place prepared for her. And these little doors that I've been talking about in the trees, if you actually get down on your hands and knees, which I do have to, I suppose I'm really meant for little people to look in, and unhook the doors and draw back open up the door. On the inside of those doors are names, the names of the character who lives in that particular tree. There's Hermione, there's Sprout, there's Scratch, there's Carrot. On each, someone's inscribed, the person who has put those doors there has inscribed their names on the inside of those doors. And I like to think that we all have a doorway to God, and He has got our name on those doors. We don't have to worry. We just need to hang on to our faith and pray that He gives us that peace in our hearts and minds. Yeah, the suffering will still be there, and it is hard for the person who's suffering, and hard for those seeing that person suffer. But we just know that God has something else for us. Jesus suffered greatly for us. Suffered from the time he started his ministry, I'm sure, because he knew what was going to happen. He knew what he was going to have to face. That can't be easy when people know these things. So we just pray that these friends of mine and people across the world who are suffering in so many different circumstances, so many different ways, we just have to pray that God's peace will rest on them and be with them. God bless.